I'm an OG, someone who's been remote for 15 years and led 100 people across 3 continents. I'm sharing 5 things that you need to know before you hire someone as a remote or hybrid leadership coach. Now, plot twist, are you really looking for a coach or are you looking for an advisor? The first thing experts get wrong is they have 0 remote leadership experience. Now, a physical therapist once told me, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. That's what's happening with remote leadership coaching. These experts teach generic leadership advice because they don't actually know what works in a remote environment. Most remote leadership coaching focuses either on your mindset, helping you build soft skills, or tools and tactics, neither of which are what you really need. You don't need Slack etiquette or how to run better Zoom meetings. You don't even need project management frameworks. What you need is to know how to keep your remote teams engaged and accountable. You need to know how to delegate remotely without micromanaging. You need the 4 C's. Now, the second thing experts get wrong, they coach you as the leader while ignoring the team system. Traditional coaching is one-on-one, your communication style, your emotional intelligence, but remote leadership is not just about you. It's about the system, the people. How does the information flow without hallway conversations? How do teams collaborate across 15-hour time zone differences? How do you build culture when people never meet in person? You need coaching that addresses remote leadership systematically, not just making you a better individual leader. Now, when we merged 2 rival globally remote companies, we held a leadership retreat. We were unified as a leadership team by the end, but our teams were still living with distrust and dysfunction. Remote leadership coaching must be team inclusive and based on systems. Now, the third thing is that they focus on feelings without practical application. They might ask you, how do you feel about leading remotely? But your team doesn't need more feelings. Trust me, they already have enough of their own. They need systems. How do we make decisions asynchronously? What's the escalation process? How do we onboard somebody remotely? Remote operations require skills. Most wrongly assume you lead remotely the same way that you do in person. Now, number 4 is that they don't really know what works, and it won't show until months from now. Remote fractures slowly like a virus, and you start treating symptoms until you look up and realize that everything is broken and people are quitting. So what does work? The 4C formula: communication, collaboration, culture, and community. Not communication tools, communication systems. How information flows, when it flows, and who needs to know what. Not just collaboration software, collaboration systems, how teams work together across distance and time zones. Not HR culture programs, a culture system, what you model as a leader and the expectations that you set. Not forced community events, but community systems, how people actually connect and support each other. Now, these 4 work together: communication, collaboration, culture, and community. They are multiplied together and then divided by tools. That is what most coaching misses. Now, here's the real question. Number 5, do you actually need a coach or do you need an advisor? A coach asks questions and helps you find your own answers. It's great for self-awareness, but if you're building remote systems from scratch, you don't need questions. Now, you need an advisor, someone with demonstrated success as a remote leader who knows it's about more than tools, someone who understands the 4 C's, all built on experience and not theory. So what separates the coach from the advisor? Experience. Download my case study to see remote work leadership in action, the challenges, and how the 4 C's were the answer in doubling productivity and that 90% retention. The link is in the description.